Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, Adrian here. Welcome back to the channel and to the Black Desert Online post-stream vlog for week number 5. So this is vlog number 5, and it's probably gonna be the last vlog before the review comes out. So let's get straight into it, what I've been doing in the lead up to week 5 and everything. And pretty much what I said on stream, for the first half of the week, I got pretty burned out on Black Desert Online simply because of where I'm at in the content and what the game required of me to advance further into the eastern region, Medaya, and to do those quests. I think my review character, the wizard, was woefully underpowered. I guess not the best gear score ever. I thought I got my AP up pretty high, but my DP kind of suffered. So questing in those regions, in Helm's Post and around that area was kind of painful because there were lots of deaths and the mobs do hit hard and everything. So that kind of forced me to go back and, as I said in the last vlog, start that gear grind, which I wasn't really keen on doing simply because of the repetitive nature of it all. You're pretty much doing boss scrolls, summoning scrolls, trying to get more black stones and try and upgrade your weapon and or your armor and that kind of thing. And because of the path that I chose, the armor set that I'm using requires multiple versions of it, and to craft those, the resources come slowly. I have to leave my PC on overnight and everything. So when you combine all of that, when people talk about the grindy nature of that of the end game, I'm slowly starting to experience that on a smaller scale. But of course, if this was my main MMORPG and I'm not playing anything else, I would probably put in 50% more of that effort, and because I really want to progress, or if I'm part of an active guild and there are requirements or things that are expected of me as a player in that guild, then I'll it wouldn't be much of an issue, I don't think. But for me, more of the solo casual type guy, I do have to maintain a certain amount of work and jobs, and because I take projects freelance or whatever, and in addition to running the channel and putting out videos and reviewing a whole bunch of things and creating videos and whatever, so I just don't have the time to dedicate to that grind anymore, so that's kind of affecting me, and I really got burned out there. So I was kind of taking it slow. I thought, there are a bunch of other things that I'll probably never get to show off in the review. Things like the Node Wars and Conquest Wars, all those big guild versus guild type PvP stuff, Imperial trading, and a bunch of other things that the Southeast Asian version just doesn't have right now because, it's still new and it's still trying to catch up to the other versions of the game. So that was that, a bit of the burnout, and then kind of midweek, the BDO had the update and they brought in the new class. It's not new, but it's new for us because we've only have a certain amount of classes that launched with the game. So the Valkyries now in the Southeast Asian version, and I thought, yeah, that's gonna be a decent way for me to try and get back into the game and do the leveling again and see the combat from a different perspective. And as far as the Valkyries concerned, in the past week leading up to the stream, I just played the Valkyrie a lot. She's now level 46, I think. So it's another class. I did the same thing for the Kunoichi and with the warrior before that as well, and this is the first review cycle that I've actually leveled up alts, or I've played alts as much as the review character itself. So that's the first for me. I've never done that before. In all the other reviews that I've done, I usually just stick to the one review character and see that all the way through. But for BDO, I guess playing multiple characters is sort of the norm here, because there's a bunch of mechanics that in the game that you as a player will benefit for having a bunch of alts. In terms of using energy, in terms of parking them somewhere near a vendor or in different towns, just to mitigate a lot of things like the traveling time and distance, for example, and stuff like that. So yeah, in terms of the Valkyrie, I do enjoy the class. Melee, almost similar to the warrior, but has a bunch of combat stuff that I prefer. The archetype of being able to melee, have a bit of range, do some buffs and self heals, which again, that's my favorite archetype in almost any MMO that I play, so I instantly kind of gravitated towards the Valkyries, combat roles and everything, and I did enjoy it, so I'm now playing that heavily moving forward. And yeah, all the way up to the review, I suppose, which is already in the works, as I told you guys in stream. And you guys should see that pretty soon. If not within next week, then within the next 2 weeks, definitely. And it'll be videos of that game that's going to be in my rotation somehow. I'm going to try and fit that in. Um, because when I review all these MMOs for the first time, usually you'll find something that that's worth playing in the long run. Like ESO, when I reviewed it, fell in love with it. It's now in my rotation. Guild Wars 2 is heavily in my rotation after the review, and BDO is just one of that games that because I've never done anything like it before. I never played this kind of game before. I do like some systems, so yeah, I'll be gradually playing it over time and seeing all the new classes that are yet to be introduced, as well as content that still hasn't made its way over from the Korean version or the American version or whatever. So yeah. Other than that, in the stream itself, I did a bit of questing on the Valkyrie. I also showed players that never played the game before what the Amity system is and how conversations work and what are the benefits of raising the Amity or talking to NPCs to unlock special shops or vendor items and just useful things about that system. And other than that, it was just all talking and chilling and sharing a whole wide range of topics and everything. So that's basically what the stream was: 2.5 hours of just chilling around and talking about MMOs and whatever. But as this is probably going to be the last vlog for BDO, I'm just going to wrap everything up. The game itself, I jumped into it knowing that this was a 50-50. I may like it, I may hate it, because I don't have a high level character in any Asian MMORPG. Even though I have reviewed Final Fantasy XIV in the past, Realm Reborn, I don't consider that to be in the mold of the huge amounts of Korean MMORPGs out there. And I know that there is a distinction between the two, JRPG MMOs, versus the Korean or the Chinese type MMORPGs. They're catered towards different types of players. Whereas in the Japanese RPG MMOs or whatever, you'll find a more narrative-driven game. The other Asian MMOs, narrative doesn't seem to be a priority, but instead it's all about either the combat or that grind and the rewards and whatever. That seems to be a really huge pulling factor for the demographics in this part of the world. And by the sheer numbers and the sheer versions of the BDO games out there, the rest of the world too. So BDO has about 3 million registered players based on what information I was able to look up about the amount of people that have bought BDO, all versions. 3 million is a decent figure, I think, for a game like this, which tells me obviously that there's a demand for it, because they're obviously doing something right. So jumping into BDO over the last 5 weeks, I have found things that I never thought I would like in an Asian game, and there are things so obviously that basic MMORPG tropes for games coming from this side of the world, and you probably see that more in the review. But yeah, I did share all my feelings about that on the stream, and yeah, it's been an overall enjoyable experience. A lot of people have warned me about the grindy nature of the game when I first started, and it took me a while to finally see and get on that gear grind treadmill as well. In addition to the low rate of XP once you get past 52 or 53, and then it's going to get worse from then on out, obviously. And the Southeast Asian version doesn't have all the catch-up mechanics that the North American or Europe version has. So I can only review what I'm experiencing, so I can't really, the review's going to cover the Southeast Asian version, obviously, but a lot of the groundwork is in all the other versions as well, so there's going to be some crossover there. And that's it, really. I mean, for the next MMORPG review, if you guys remember that voting thing that I did way back in September, I think, it's supposed to be DC Universe Online next, but somebody suggested Rift Prime, simply because it just got released this month. The Prime server is going to be around for like a year, and I did create that video about Rift Prime and would you pay to play it. And there's a lot of follow-ups, get comments or messages or whatever saying, hey, so now that it's live, are you going to do a review about Prime? Because people want to, and I don't have a Rift review, so it may be something I'm interested in doing after BDO review. So if you guys think that's a good idea, feel free to leave that in the comment section below, and we'll see if we can make it happen. Anyway, that's about it for me. I just want to say real quickly to everybody that's jumped into the streams over the past 5 weeks. I hope you guys had fun. Those of you that play BDO, your experiences may vary from mine based on what I've seen and showed and I've shared in terms of my experience. Those that never play BDO, there are some of you that are from week one, and I can already see some of the negatives coming out in your comments in terms of what you don't like about the game, and that's totally fine. My channel, I'm trying to build a conducive and a friendly and respectful community where we can all share our opinions about the games that I'm currently reviewing. And it was really refreshing to see all the comments that were coming out. Well, it just got really dark in here. I think it's going to rain soon. Seeing all those comments, and it did put things into perspective for me. I'm kind of, because I've never jumped or, like I said, done anything like this. For me, seeing it for the first time, doing it for the first time, those were eye-opening, and I did like some of them. But some of your comments did, paint a pretty accurate picture about what BDO is like for the player who doesn't necessarily have the money to spend, for example, and buying a package or getting something that is super useful in the store, like buying pets. So yeah, there's that microtransaction element of Black Desert Online that some people may disagree with in terms of making it a fair and an even or balanced landscape for progressing. But it's just that sort of game. The player who jumped in on day one and has got some advantages in terms of XP boosts, life skill boosts, and everything. He's gonna be in the top 10 ranks and whatever. And as a player, if you're jumping in next month, for example, you're never gonna catch him. You're never, ever, ever gonna catch them. It's the same for most MMOs, but BDOs is in a way, because it's a very time-consuming game. The more time you spend, the faster or the sooner you start doing things. So everybody that played on launch and that's still playing today obviously has a great leg up from the new player, and then from then on it's just a gap that you cannot breach unless you buy 50 costumes a day and sell that in the marketplace for silver. And even then, if you want to buy the best stuff from the auction place, you still have to do the RNG bidding and everything. So lots of things in there that are mixed bag, and yeah, the review's gonna, I'll talk about all of that. Anyway, again, for all of you that joined me in stream, hey, thank you guys so much. I do appreciate the company and the support, and as I said, hope it's entertaining for you guys. So same thing that I did for a while. Whenever the review's done, I'm going to have a countdown stream until the release of the review. And in between then, if it's 2 weeks, you guys will get a whole bunch of other videos coming out. I've got a couple of discussion videos. I have a Guild Wars 2 review for Episode 2 of The Living World Season 4. And whatever else content that I can squeeze in between, you guys will see it. So that's it for me. Yeah, as I said, hope you guys enjoyed the the BDO leveling review process stream so far. And yeah, I'll catch you guys real soon, either on Twitch for my weekly stuff or on YouTube. So hit the like button if you've enjoyed the BDO journey. Hit the dislike button if you think I'd rather spend my time doing something else. And hey, if you're new here, feel free to subscribe to the channel for more MMO content. Once again, Jeremy Adrian here, and I thank you guys for watching. Hey, welcome to the end screen. If you've made it this far, it means you've watched the entire video, and I thank you very much for that. If you want to watch more videos, you can click the cards at the bottom here, anyone would do. And you can subscribe to my channel by hitting the big round button here to get notifications on all my latest videos. See you guys in the next video.